They said it so many times that even they started to believe it. They told the world you were dangerous, unstable, a problem to be handled. And the worst part? People believed them. They didn't ask questions. They didn't look for proof. They nodded, turned their backs on you and moved on like you were just some mistake they had to erase. But now, the truth has finally caught up to the lies, and it's ugly. The silence is loud. The same people who rushed to judge you are now choking on the shame of what they supported. You were framed, plain and simple. And now that the real story is out, the air around you has changed. There's a strange quietness in the room when your name comes up. Those who were so loud before, the ones who laughed, pointed, and spread the story, have gone strangely quiet. Some are even trying to pretend they were never part of it. Others are watching you from a distance, scared of what else might come out next. Because they know if one truth slipped out, more could follow. And they're not ready for that. If this message already feels like it's hitting your story, press the like button and subscribe. That's how we protect each other. That's how we make this truth louder. You see, they thought framing you would finish you. They didn't expect you to keep walking through it with your head held high. They didn't expect you to survive the silence, the rumors, and the isolation. But you did. And now they're the ones left explaining themselves. Suddenly, all that fake confidence is cracking. Their smiles are forced. Their words are rehearsed. They can't keep up with the truth that's now moving faster than their lies. The universe has a way of returning balance, and this time it didn't do it with fire or force. It did it with patience. The truth sat in the background, collecting dust, waiting for the right moment to walk in. And when it did, it didn't need to scream. It just opened its mouth and the whole room went silent. That's where we are now. You're not imagining it. You're watching the very people who swore they were clean scramble to scrub their fingerprints off the setup. Let me tell you something real. Every chosen one has a season where it looks like they're the villain. People point at them and say, "Look what they did." But history always tells the truth, just not right away. If you're feeling that shift right now, the way people suddenly act different, the way you're being looked at with guilt instead of hate, it's because the truth hit. And it hit hard. They framed you because they feared you. You saw too much. You remembered what they wanted erased. You held a mirror up to their fake kindness and forced them to look at who they really are, and they couldn't take it. So they did what cowards do. They ganged up, made a plan, and painted a picture so ugly that it turned even the kindest people against you. But now, that painting's falling apart, one crack at a time. The people who turned their backs are starting to come around again. They might not say it out loud, but you can feel it in the stares, in the sudden attempts to be friendly, in the awkward compliments that come out of nowhere. They're trying to get close again, not because they love you, but because they don't want to be on the wrong side of the truth. And deep down, you know that. Let them squirm. Let them rethink. You're not here for revenge. You're here to rise. You're not fighting to fix what they broke. You're walking forward into something cleaner, clearer, and more powerful than they ever imagined for you. They thought they could bury you, but they didn't know they were planting you. And now, you're growing in full view and they can't stop it. They called you unstable. Now they look scattered. They called you angry. Now they're the ones panicking. They called you a problem. And now the world sees they were the ones creating it. This is the shift. And it's not coming. It's already here. You're standing in the moment they prayed would never happen. The moment you're proven right. Not with rage, not with revenge, but with truth. Clean, quiet, and undeniable. You don't need to explain anything anymore. The universe is doing that for you. Your job now? Keep walking, keep standing tall, and remember every name, every face, every hand that tried to push you down, not for hate, for clarity. Because chosen one, you've been through enough, and now it's their turn to live with what they did. Let them carry it. Let them explain it. Let them answer to their own conscience. You're free now, and the truth? It's not just breaking, it's screaming. And this time, the whole world is listening. And hey, chosen one, take a breath for a second. You've seen how deep this truth cuts, and you can already feel it. This story isn't just talk, it's your story. The proof is unfolding, and the energy around you is shifting fast. So, before we go deeper, do something powerful. Drop the number 777 in the comments if you can feel that justice is finally turning in your favor. That's your signal to the universe that you're still standing, still unbroken, still watching this play flip back in your hands. Because what's coming next will explain why they framed you, how the mask fell, and what this moment truly means for your future. So stay right here, don't blink, and don't scroll. You'll want to hear every word. The silence around you is about to make perfect sense. Let's dive in, step by step, because if you're truly one of the chosen ones, you'll feel the pull to stay till the end. Let's get started. Number 1. They built their castle with your blood. Now it's collapsing on their heads. They didn't just lie on your name, they decorated themselves with your ruin, and now, the same crown they stole is cutting into their skull. They didn't just twist your story, they engineered it. Cold, calculated, precise. Like surgeons with a scalpel, they dissected your truth and stitched it into a costume they could wear in front of the world. And it worked. For a while. They convinced everyone you were the villain while they stood in your light, smiling as if they were the wounded hero. That wasn't a mistake. That was their plan from day one. This wasn't just betrayal. It was an assassination of character dressed up as concern. They didn't want to expose you, they wanted to be you, but without doing the work, without walking through the pain, without carrying the weight. So instead, they tried to take your power by destroying your name. And here's the sickest part. They used pieces of your real life to make the lie believable, because a total fantasy would have raised questions. But a twisted half-truth? That's the kind of poison people swallow without even tasting the bitterness. They watched you give. They watched you stay quiet through attacks. They watched you stay patient when others would have exploded. And they used it all against you. Every act of kindness you ever showed became a tool in their hands. They took your softness and called it weakness. Your silence? They spun it as guilt. Your boundaries, labeled as cruelty. Every time you walked away from drama, they told people it was because you had something to hide. They didn't just lie about you. They built their entire image on your suffering, and the world applauded them for it. But now, the applause has stopped. Because the truth doesn't disappear. It doesn't stay buried. It waits, quietly like a storm gathering strength. And now it's crashing down, ripping off the masks they wore so comfortably. Suddenly, the people who once claimed they were protecting others from you are the same ones being avoided in group chats, side-eyed in rooms, and whispered about behind closed doors. Their little act? It's falling apart, scene by scene. And the most painful part, the part that makes your chest tight, is realizing how easy it was for them to throw you to the wolves. All it took was a few convincing words and a crowd hungry for drama. No one asked for your side. No one asked what you were going through. They just nodded along, fueled by ego, gossip, or guilt. You were treated like a villain in a play you never auditioned for. Now you're probably wondering, why? Why you? Why would people you once loved, helped, maybe even protected, turn around and paint you as the enemy? Because you were the real thing. You carried a light they couldn't stand to see because it exposed every corner of their fakeness. Your growth made them uncomfortable. Your strength made them insecure. Your honesty made them feel naked. And instead of rising to meet your energy, they chose to smear it until others stopped looking. They couldn't compete with your truth, so they had to manufacture a version of you that people would fear. They needed you to look like the storm, because they were the ones causing the damage. But here's the brutal beauty of it. When people build their castle with lies, they forget that truth is erosion. Quiet, steady, unstoppable. And now, brick by brick, that castle is collapsing on top of them. The very image they created to destroy you is now haunting them. Their fake halo. It's rusted. Their clean hands, stained with every secret they tried to pin on you. And now? The world is starting to notice. People are waking up. Not all, but enough. The ones who used to whisper behind your back are now whispering about your enemies, not because you demanded it, but because energy doesn't lie. Time always exposes what people's words try to hide. And what's being exposed now is the cold, cruel fact that they thrived off your pain. They weaponized your trauma, turned your breakdown into a broadcast. They took your healing process and turned it into entertainment. That wasn't just personal, it was public. But now the spotlight has shifted, and suddenly they're the ones sweating, watching their empire built on rumors start to shake. And they can feel it, that sickening knot in their gut every time your name comes up, that twisting shame when they see how strong you still are, that fear that maybe, just maybe, the people they once convinced will now see the real truth. Not the one they painted, but the one you lived through. Now the world sees them differently. Their words don't hit the same. Their energy feels off. And it's not because you said anything, it's because your silence screams louder than their fake apologies ever could. Let that be your strength now, chosen one. Not revenge, not proving anything, just standing tall in the full truth of who you are. Let the memory of what they did become your fuel, not your prison, because you never needed to destroy them. They did that on their own, with every fake word, every rehearsed concern, every time they stepped on your neck just to lift their ego an inch higher. They built their confidence out of your collapse. But here's the part they never expected. You stood back up, and now every brick they threw at you is becoming part of your foundation, stronger, sharper, untouchable. And they're the ones left to live inside the ruin of their own lies. They used your pain as wallpaper, but now the walls are bleeding truth, and it's not pretty. This is that moment, the moment where you realize they never broke you, they revealed themselves. And now that the curtain's down, everyone's disgusted, not at you, at them. They made a show out of your name, but the stage is crumbling, and the lights, they're no longer on them, they're on you. So stand still, let the rubble fall, let the truth echo. You don't need revenge, you already won. Number 2, their accusations were a loud confession, and now everyone heard it. The louder they screamed about your flaws, the more they exposed their own. Every finger pointed at you was a desperate attempt to distract from the rot beneath their mask. They didn't warn others about you. They were screaming for help, trying to hide who they really were. What they blamed you for was never about guilt. It was always a mirror they couldn't face. They didn't accuse you because you did something wrong. They accused you because you saw too much. Your very existence threatened the lie they were living, so they had to make sure the spotlight never stayed on them long enough to reveal the cracks. So they flipped it, turned your silence into guilt, your strength into arrogance, your boundaries into cruelty. And they did it so loudly, so publicly, with so much fake emotion, that no one even paused to ask, why does this sound so personal? Because it was personal. Not about you, but about them. The accusations weren't random. They were rehearsed, specific, almost too specific. And now, when you look back, it all makes sense. Their concerns lined up perfectly with their own behavior. They said you were manipulative, but who was pulling strings behind the scenes? They said you were toxic, yet they were the ones poisoning every room they entered. They said you had an ego, but it was their pride that couldn't stand your light. Every single word they used against you was a confession. They just couldn't say it out loud, so they used you as the screen to project their guilt onto. Imagine this. Someone breaks a vase, blames you for it, and then spends years warning everyone not to trust you around anything fragile. But they're the one with glue on their hands. They're the one who knows exactly how to commit the crime because they've done it before, over and over. They don't accuse at random. They accuse with detail because they're describing themselves. And they hope no one notices how accurate that description is. But now, everyone's noticing. The mask has slipped. People are replaying conversations in their heads. They're seeing the pattern, how every accusation was too sharp, too rehearsed, too emotionally loaded to be coming from someone innocent. And suddenly, it's obvious. The whole thing was projection, a cover-up. They were never trying to warn the world about you. They were trying to hide from it. It's like watching a magician expose their own trick mid-show. You can't unsee it, and the audience feels betrayed, disgusted, not just at them, but at themselves for ever clapping in the first place. That's the energy in the room now. The people who once looked at you with suspicion are now avoiding eye contact, not because they believe you're guilty, but because they're ashamed they ever did. They're starting to feel the weight of their silence. The weight of every moment they let you drown in isolation while someone else danced in your spotlight. And they're wondering, how did I not see it sooner? The answer is simple. Fear sells, drama distracts, and lies, when delivered with enough emotion, can sound like truth. You were just too real, too calm, too grounded. You didn't fight back with fire, and that made people uncomfortable. They mistook your restraint for evidence. And that's exactly what your enemy wanted. Because when people see a calm face in the middle of chaos, they don't know how to read it. They panic. They assume guilt. Meanwhile, the real manipulator plays victim and takes control of the story. Imagine this. A thief steals your coat, puts it on, and tells the town you attacked them. Then they cry on cue. And because they're louder, people believe it. That's what happened here. You were painted as the danger, while they walked around wearing your strength like it belonged to them. But here's the twist. Time has no loyalty to lies, and the coat never fit them right. The universe is precise. It doesn't miss, it doesn't rush. It lets the lie grow legs, walk around, speak boldly, then fall on its face when the truth quietly walks in behind it. That's what's happening now. Your enemy's own words have turned into knives that are cutting them instead of you. Because once the truth begins to leak out, everything they said starts sounding like a diary entry, raw, revealing, and full of projection. People are starting to say it out loud now. They weren't talking about the chosen one. They were talking about themselves. And once that switch flips, there's no going back. You can't unsee a pattern once you've seen it. Every insult, every accusation, every whispered warning, it all becomes evidence. Not against you, against them. And that's why the energy feels heavy when you walk in the room now. That's why the ones who smeared your name suddenly can't look you in the eye. It's not guilt, it's exposure. Their own reflection is looking back at them, and they can't stand what they see. But don't mistake this shift for a win in their eyes. To them, this isn't just embarrassment, it's terror. Because the same truth they tried to bury is now sprouting up from every direction, and it has witnesses, it has weight. And most of all, it has memory. The universe doesn't just restore what was stolen, it puts it in the spotlight. And when that happens, the thief doesn't just return what they took, they get seen in the act. Imagine this, a courtroom with no judge, no lawyers, just the world watching. And slowly, all the lies start playing on the walls like a movie, scene after scene, word after word, and everyone's realizing the same thing at the same time. They lied. They framed the chosen one to cover their tracks, and now the truth is doing what they never expected, telling itself. So if you're wondering why they're suddenly quiet, why their energy feels shaky, why they're avoiding places they used to dominate, it's because their voice has turned into a confession tape, and it's playing on repeat in the hearts of everyone who once believed them. They called you a manipulator, but who planted the story? They said you were unstable, but who kept shifting their mask? They said you were dangerous, but who needed you out of the way to stay relevant? Now those questions answer themselves. Let this be your reminder. Chosen one, you never had to fight dirty to survive. You just had to endure, because the universe doesn't rush justice. It waits until the lie has climbed high enough, and then it pulls the floor out. That moment is here, and now the fall is happening in real time. They didn't just accuse you, they revealed themselves through every word, and now everyone is hearing the truth, even when no one's speaking. Number 3, they needed you to be the monster, so they could sleep at night. They didn't bury you to hide the truth. They buried you so they wouldn't have to face themselves. They couldn't handle the truth of what they did, so they made you the villain. It was easier that way. The guilt, the envy, the low-key jealousy they carried, all of it was too heavy to admit. So they repackaged it, gave it your name, wrapped it in false stories, then handed it out like flyers to anyone willing to listen. Why? Because if they could make you look dangerous, unstable, selfish, then they didn't have to look in the mirror. This wasn't revenge. It was a coping mechanism. Their lies weren't just targeted. They were therapeutic. Your name became the pillow their guilt laid its head on. Every time they told someone you changed, that you couldn't be trusted anymore, it let them breathe a little easier. Because the truth that they betrayed someone real, someone good, would have eaten them alive. So instead, they rewrote history to survive. They didn't destroy your name because you deserved it. They did it because they needed relief. Imagine this. A thief steals your coat, then tells everyone it was yours that made them cold. That's the level of mental gymnastics they were performing, and it worked. For a while, people nodded. They looked at you sideways. They kept their distance, because no one stops to question a lie when it comes dressed in emotion. But lies age badly, and the cracks always show. Now people are confused. They're seeing something doesn't match. The person they were warned about, you, is still walking with peace, still standing with grace, still not retaliating. And that stillness is exposing the noise. The more time passed, the more their stories started sounding off, confused, contradictory. And one by one, people started waking up. That's what's eating at them now. Not just that the truth is breaking loose, but that it's turning on them. The lies they used to help themselves sleep are now keeping them wide awake. Their own conscience is haunting them. Their shame is screaming louder than any rumor ever did. And here's the twist. You were never the villain. You were the mirror. That's why they couldn't stand you. You reminded them of who they really were underneath the front, and they hated that. They hated how your truth revealed their lies, how your calm revealed their chaos, how your loyalty revealed their betrayal. So instead of fixing themselves, they tried to erase you. But now, the one they tried to erase is the only one still standing. Let that sink in. You didn't need to fight back. You didn't need to clear your name. Time did it. Truth did it. And now, everyone who once believed their script is sitting in discomfort, wondering how they got played. Because deep down, people always knew. They just didn't want to admit it. It's easier to believe a clean lie than a complicated truth. But now, the truth is screaming in plain sight. Their disguise, shredded, their excuses, exhausted, and their shame, fully visible. So let them sit with it. Let them carry it. You don't need to make them pay. The universe already collected interest. Your job now is to stay rooted, stay focused, keep rising. Because when the mask falls and the audience sees who was really hiding behind it, there's only one thing left to do: bow out in disgrace. That's their ending. And your story, it's just beginning. Number 4, you were their moral test, and they failed it in front of everyone. When you fell, the truth didn't fall with you. It stood up and pointed at every fake soul who clapped. What happened to you wasn't an accident. It was an exposure experiment, unplanned by you, but perfectly executed by the universe. When they framed you, they thought they were breaking your reputation. But what they really did was strip their own masks off. The situation was like a sudden blackout at a grand party. The lights went out and everyone's real face appeared. The ones who smiled when you suffered showed exactly what lived beneath their charm. The ones who stayed silent revealed the shape of their fear. And those who pretended to care while secretly enjoying your pain, well, the darkness exposed them most of all. People love to act loyal when loyalty costs nothing, but the moment your name became uncomfortable to defend, they folded. That's when you learned who had character and who just had convenience. Your downfall became their test, and almost all of them failed. Some celebrated quietly, whispering things like, "I always knew something was off." Others stayed neutral, thinking silence would keep them safe. But silence in the face of injustice is just participation in disguise. Imagine this, a classroom where everyone's been given the same test, and the question is simple: will you stand for truth when it stops being popular? The majority failed. They didn't even try to get it right. They just copied the lie that was being passed around. And when the results came back, the universe didn't grade you. It graded them. You were the exam they didn't study for. Every rumor they spread became an X-ray of their spirit. Every smirk when you were down became proof of their emptiness. They thought your story was about guilt and punishment, but it was really about exposure. You didn't lose people, you lost illusions. What fell away were the weak layers of false loyalty that were never real to begin with. The same people who swore they had your back showed how quickly a little pressure could turn them into spectators. You didn't change, they did. Or rather, they revealed who they'd been all along. That's the power of truth. It doesn't create character, it reveals it. Now they're squirming. Not because you came back stronger, but because they're haunted by the memory of how they acted when it mattered most. They can't joke about it, they can't excuse it, and they can't hide from it. When they look at you now, they see the evidence of their own cowardice staring back. That's why the air feels heavy when you walk in. That's why the smiles fade too fast. They're not disgusted by you. They're disgusted by themselves. So let it be known, chosen one, you were never the experiment's victim. You were its proof. You didn't expose them with words. You exposed them with survival. The universe used your storm to wash the paint off every false face around you. And when the water settled, the truth stood clear. You were the test, and they failed spectacularly. Number 5. The frame was a frequency test, and they failed the vibration check. When truth went silent, every soul revealed its station. Some rose, some rotted, and some vanished into static. The smear against you wasn't just a scandal, it was a filter, a quiet cosmic sorting process disguised as chaos. It wasn't about who believed the lie, it was about who their energy agreed with when the truth went missing. The universe wasn't testing your reputation, it was testing theirs. Who would stay grounded when the air turned toxic? Who would listen to intuition when noise ruled the room? Who would stay loyal when silence was mistaken for guilt? That's what this moment revealed. Everyone vibrates at a certain frequency. Truth hums steady and clean. Deception buzzes loud and distorted. When you were framed, people had a choice. Tune into truth or sink with gossip. And they chose. Some couldn't help themselves. They leaned into rumors because it felt familiar. Their spirits already fed on jealousy, decay, and low vibrations. So your downfall felt like home to them. They didn't question anything because lies sounded right to their energy. Meanwhile, a few rare souls stayed quiet, steady, calm. They didn't have proof, they had instinct. They knew something didn't sit right, and their energy refused to resonate with the poison. Imagine this, 2 radios in the same room, one playing chaos, the other playing peace. Most people danced to the noise. Only a few had ears sharp enough to hear the steady hum beneath it. That's what this whole setup was, a test of frequency alignment. You weren't punished. You were used as calibration. The universe needed to separate the real from the fake, the grounded from the hollow. It didn't care who looked loyal in public. It cared who stayed aligned in private. And now, everything's clear. The ones who believed the worst about you without hesitation didn't just make a mistake. They revealed their true station. They vibrated where lies live. And when truth finally came back into the room, their energy couldn't keep up. You can see it now. How drained they look, how heavy their presence feels, how desperate they are to rewrite their part in your story. But energy doesn't forget. Once someone chooses a low vibration, the universe records it. You don't have to expose them. Their aura already did. The smear was never about humiliation. It was about sorting. It classified who could discern truth in the dark and who fed on drama like oxygen. Those who betrayed you didn't just lose your trust. They lost their own spiritual credibility. They failed the frequency test. Their energy collapsed under the weight of truth, while yours stayed steady. That's why you're still here, glowing quietly, while their masks melt in public light. So don't waste time convincing anyone of your purity. The universe already testified for you. The proof isn't in words anymore, it's in vibration. The air has shifted, the energy is louder than gossip, and the separation is complete. The frame was their moment of exposure, and they tuned to the wrong station. Number 6, your silence was the proof and their noise was the confession. They waited for your explosion. Instead, they got your endurance, and it terrified them more than any reaction ever could. They expected you to crumble, to defend yourself, to scream, to beg people to see the truth. That was their plan, to drag you into the mud and call it justice. But you didn't give them the satisfaction. You didn't fight in their arena. You didn't stoop to their level. You let silence become your witness and time your attorney. What they mistook for weakness was wisdom, because truth doesn't argue, it endures. And while they spun their lies louder, you just stood still. That's what broke them. Endurance is a language false people can't speak. They only know reaction, chaos, and noise. So when you refused to play the game, their script fell apart. Every insult you ignored became another crack in their story. Every rumor you outlived became a public record of your strength. They said you were arrogant because you didn't respond. They said you were unstable because you didn't collapse. But what really happened was simple. Your calm exposed their desperation. Imagine this, a courtroom where one side screams accusations and the other just sits quietly, steady, unshaken. After a while, the crowd doesn't hear the noise. They notice the stillness. They start asking themselves, why hasn't this person flinched? Why aren't they afraid? And then it clicks. The guilty always over-explain. The innocent don't have to. That's exactly what happened to you. You didn't argue because you knew the truth would argue for you. The universe documents everything, not through words, but through patterns. Every day you chose peace over panic. It wrote your defense in invisible ink, and now it's visible to everyone. Your endurance wasn't silence. It was strategy. It was proof that you were never built from the same fragile material as your accusers. They lived for drama. You lived for peace. And that difference is what saved you. Now look around. The ones who once demanded explanations from you are questioning the people who accused you. The same crowd that doubted your strength now uses your name as an example of resilience. You didn't just survive the frame, you outlasted it. And in the end, that's what cleared your name. Not noise, not defense, but endurance. Your calm was your victory. Your patience was your proof. Number 7. Their lies turned radioactive, and now they're glowing in their own fallout. Lies don't die, they decompose, and when they do, they poison the liar first. Lies have a shelf life. At first, they look polished, strong enough to fool anyone, but over time, they start to leak. They mutate, twist, and rot through the very people who built them. That's what's happening now. The story they created to bury you has started turning on them. What began as a whisper has become a siren, one that screams their guilt louder every day. The truth doesn't chase, it waits. And when it finally catches up, it doesn't arrive quietly, it detonates. They thought charm could contain deceit. They thought performance could hide the cracks. But time is a forensic scientist. It picks apart every inconsistency, every exaggerated tone, every missing detail, until the evidence speaks louder than they ever could. Their lies aged like radioactive waste, hidden for a while, but leaking through everything they tried to seal it in. People smell it now. They feel that unease in their gut, that slow, sick recognition that something never added up. That's not confusion. That's intuition finally waking up. Imagine this. Someone paints over mold with the brightest color they can find. For a few weeks, it looks perfect. Then the spots start bleeding through. That's what happened with their story. The more they repainted it, the more obvious the rot became. Their voice changed, from confidence to anxiety, from power to panic. Their eyes don't shine the same anymore because maintaining lies drains the soul. Truth doesn't need maintenance. It stands by itself. But lies are full-time jobs. They require constant retelling, constant energy, constant pretending, and eventually they run out of fuel. Their sympathy act is expired. The same stories that once made people pity them are now being replayed and questioned. Their words sound rehearsed. Their tone sounds hollow. The once believable narrative now echoes like a confession on repeat, because the longer a lie lives, the more it starts sounding like the person's diary of guilt. Every sentence, every fake tear, every overdone defense is being reinterpreted, not as truth, but as cover-up. And now the decay is visible. The people who once stood behind them have stepped back. They feel the toxicity. You can see it in how quickly conversations change when their name comes up. Their charisma cracked, their polish peeled. What's left is the raw, corroded truth, and it's not flattering. It's not heroic. It's ugly, desperate, and undeniable. They didn't just lie, they became the lie. They lived inside it until it fused with their identity. And now they can't separate who they are from what they said. Imagine this, their lies as glowing embers buried under soil. They thought the dirt would smother it, but heat always finds a way out. One by one, the embers burned through, lighting up the surface. And now everyone can see the fire they tried to hide. That's not coincidence. That's the universe balancing the scales. So let them glow in their own fallout. Don't even waste your breath explaining anymore. Their decay is public now, and their downfall is self-inflicted. The disgust people feel isn't sudden. It's the recognition of something they always sensed. The slow rot has finally surfaced, and there's no paint, no performance, and no apology strong enough to cover the stench. Their deceit didn't vanish. It matured into evidence. Time did what you couldn't. It turned their lies into confession tapes and handed them over to the court of truth. And as always, the verdict is the same. Integrity outlives illusion. Number 8. They mistook your humiliation for defeat, but it was strategic camouflage. While they chased applause in the spotlight, you were being rebuilt in the shadows, and now the light burns them, not you. They thought your silence was surrender. They thought your humiliation was the ending, but it wasn't. It was cover, deliberate, precise, and protective. The universe hid you in plain sight, using the smoke of false accusations as camouflage. While they celebrated their false victory, you were being preserved. What looked like shame was actually strategy. The setup was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal them. When you were framed, people's masks began to fall faster than the lies could spread. The humble turned proud, the kind turned cruel, and those who preached fairness became the loudest judges. They couldn't help it. The spotlight exposed their craving for validation. They loved your downfall because it made them feel taller. Every whisper against you was just an echo of their own insecurity. They thought your name being dragged was entertainment, not realizing it was an X-ray of their character being broadcast in real time. Imagine this, a stage full of actors pretending to be righteous. Suddenly, the lights flicker, their costumes slip, their faces reveal everything they swore they weren't. That's what happened during your downfall. The frame became the light test. and everyone's reflection appeared exactly as it was. Your silence wasn't weakness, it was observation. You watched people reveal who they really were without saying a single word. You didn't lose status, you gained clarity. The same people who paraded as moral heroes were being recorded in their truest form, impatient, arrogant, and addicted to judgment. Your so-called humiliation became a mirror that showed their intentions in high definition. They said you fell, but really you were being repositioned. The universe was clearing the stage, letting the noise expose itself before the real performance. Your comeback. It's strange, isn't it, how the same crowd that mocked your name now speaks softly when you walk in, how the same hands that clapped for your failure can't meet your eyes. That's not coincidence, that's karma's reflection. Their borrowed glory has turned against them. Their fake virtue has curdled into guilt. They can't escape it because every time they tried to use your name to shine, they accidentally illuminated their own flaws instead. Imagine this, being hidden like a seed buried under dirt. Everyone assumes it's over, but underneath, life is expanding, roots are strengthening, and timing is aligning. That was you. Your burial was protection, a silent upgrade while the loud ones exposed themselves. You weren't condemned. You were concealed until truth was mature enough to stand on its own. Now the same shame they mocked has become your shield. The silence that once hurt has turned into proof of your strength. Their spotlight, the one they fought to control, has flipped and now exposes every false motive they ever had. You were never forgotten. You were simply reserved for a higher reveal. They thought the frame destroyed you, but it only delayed your debut. What they saw as humiliation was actually insulation, keeping you safe from contamination while truth gathered evidence. And when the dust cleared, it became obvious. The ones who shouted the loudest had the most to hide. The ones who stayed still were the ones built to last. So stand tall now, chosen one. The stage is quiet. The crowd is watching. The light is pure again, and this time it's reflecting exactly what they tried to bury: your integrity, your endurance, your truth. Their applause is gone, their masks are broken, and their shame is loud. You were never defeated. You were protected in disguise. Number 9. The frame wrote your name in eternity, before Earth even knew your worth. They dragged your name through dirt, not knowing the universe was using that dirt to plant you. When they smeared your name, they thought they were destroying you. But the truth? They were documenting you. Every whisper, every rumor, every false accusation was inked into a record you couldn't see, a silent testimony of endurance, patience, and integrity. While they were obsessed with your image, the universe was recording your essence. Their gossip was noise, your silence was evidence. What they called disgrace was actually a promotion written in invisible ink. They didn't understand that reputation and truth live on different timelines. People measure you by rumors. The universe measures you by reactions, and you passed every test they didn't even know existed. When they shouted your name in hate, the universe heard it as recognition. When they mocked you for your calm, it was noted as restraint. Every false story became proof that you could hold your power without proving anything. That's why your vindication feels bigger than just justice. It feels like balance. Imagine this, a courtroom that exists beyond what anyone can see. You're not standing there, your spirit is. Every act of patience is entered as evidence. Every insult you ignored becomes a point in your favor. While people below were shouting opinions, truth above was signing off your legacy. That's how deep this goes. You weren't fighting for image, you were being written into record. The ones who lied were too focused on the crowd to realize they were testifying against themselves in a court that never closes. They thought they could silence you, but they made your name echo in higher places. That's why doors started opening for you out of nowhere. That's why your energy shifted when you stopped defending yourself. Vindication doesn't arrive through revenge. It arrives through alignment. The universe doesn't waste pain, it archives it. And every tear, every betrayal, every sleepless night became a line in your legacy. They built rumors, you built history. They collected gossip, the universe collected proof. That's why now, when people talk about what happened, their tone has changed. It's softer, it's uncertain, because deep down, they know. The one they accused didn't fall, they ascended. Their story about your downfall was really a record of your rise. Imagine this: an artist paints over a masterpiece, thinking they're covering it up. But time, rain, and erosion slowly reveal the original image beneath. More vibrant, more powerful. That's you. The truth didn't just survive, it glowed through the cover. The very scandal that was supposed to erase you became the thing that immortalized you. They thought they were breaking your reputation, they were building your rank. They thought they were ending your influence. They were just broadcasting your name wider, because when falsehood meets endurance, endurance always wins. You didn't need the crowd to believe you. The universe already did. That's why, even before your vindication arrived on Earth, your name was already famous in higher records. Your trials became credentials. Your scars became proof. And now, the same people who doubted you have to watch as truth walks you back into the light. Untouchable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. You were never cleared, you were crowned. The smear didn't bury you, it engraved you deeper into destiny. Their lies made noise for a moment. Your truth made history forever. Number 10. The disgust isn't just emotional. It's the universe rejecting their energy. When truth enters the room, it doesn't ask permission. It rewires the air and makes the guilty choke on their own vibration. This isn't just about feelings anymore. This is energy doing its work. The exposure that's happening now goes far deeper than reputation or gossip. The shift you feel in the air isn't coincidence, it's correction. Truth doesn't just clear a name, it clears space. It changes how everything vibrates. The people who once laughed at you, who joined in the slander, who fed on the drama, now they feel uneasy around the very energy they once mocked. Their spirits recognize what their minds are trying to deny. It's not guilt, it's energetic recoil. Energy doesn't lie. You can fake words, gestures, apologies, but vibration tells the real story. That's why some people can't even look at you anymore. Their body tightens up when you walk in. Their throat dries when they hear your name. Their nervous smiles are just cover-ups for what their energy already confessed. Those who once defended your accusers can't stand next to them now, not because they suddenly grew moral, but because the frequency has shifted. Their souls are rejecting what they once embraced. Imagine this, a room filled with smoke. When you walked in before, no one noticed because everyone was used to breathing poison. But now, truth has opened the windows. The air is cleaner, lighter, sharper, and the ones who thrived in darkness are coughing. They can't handle the clarity. That's not vengeance, that's purification. The universe is detoxing the space you were once condemned in. You can sense it too, how different the atmosphere feels when your name comes up now. The same energy that once mocked you now flinches. People's spirits are finally catching up to the truth their minds ignored. Their disgust isn't directed at you, it's self-directed. It's their energy rebelling against the lies it once agreed with. You don't have to speak or explain. Their vibration is already doing the talking. When truth walks in, it doesn't make announcements, it rearranges everything. The guilty feel heavy, the pure feel lighter, and the energy of every room starts to sort itself. People are realizing they once celebrated deceit, clapped for corruption, and mocked innocence. That twisting feeling in their chest now. That's not random emotion, it's a spiritual detox. Their energy is trying to cleanse itself from the contamination it once fed on. You don't need their words, their guilt trips, or their apologies. The air already said it for them. Their tone, their eyes, their hesitation, it all testifies. Truth didn't just expose them, it reprogrammed the atmosphere around your name. You don't have to lift a finger. Every molecule around you already remembers who lied, who stayed silent, and who stood firm. This isn't revenge. This is equilibrium. The universe doesn't punish. It balances. And now the balance is visible. You can feel it in the silence that follows when you enter a room. You can sense it in the tension they can't shake off. Their disgust isn't emotional anymore, it's energetic. The frequency of truth has arrived, and they simply can't exist comfortably in it. Number 11. You didn't just survive the frame, you taught the universe what justice looks like. They wanted your ending to be the lesson. Instead, you became the proof that truth doesn't fight, it waits. They wanted you gone. They wanted your name erased, your silence mistaken for defeat, and your story forgotten before it could even finish. But the universe doesn't discard the innocent. It documents them. What was designed to destroy you became the living blueprint for how real justice unfolds. You didn't scream, you didn't fight dirty, and you didn't chase revenge. You simply endured. And in doing so, you rewrote the rules. You turned pain into evidence, patience into testimony, and survival into a verdict no one can overturn. What happened to you wasn't just personal, it was historic in energy. You didn't expose them with rage, you exposed them with consistency. Every time you refused to retaliate, the universe recorded that choice as proof of your strength. Every insult you outlived became a paragraph in your case file. They thought you were weak because you stayed calm, but calm was your strategy. You weren't ignoring injustice, you were letting it weigh itself down. And it did. The longer they lied, the heavier the truth grew until it crushed their own narrative under its weight. Imagine this. A courtroom where no one speaks, yet everything is heard. Time is the judge, silence is the witness, and truth is the prosecutor. You stood there, steady, while everyone else panicked and pleaded. They tried to rewrite events, but energy doesn't edit easily. The vibration of every action was recorded exactly as it happened. And when the verdict came, it was clear. You didn't lose, you led justice to its final form. You didn't just survive the frame, you redefined justice itself. You showed that real justice isn't revenge, it's realignment. It's when truth returns everything to where it belongs. Those who built lies now live inside them, trapped by their own design. Those who stayed pure rise higher because integrity has gravity. It always pulls up what's real and buries what's fake. You didn't need to expose anyone. Their own actions became the spotlight. Now the scales are balanced. The universe didn't clear you just to make things fair. It crowned you to make things final. Every lie they built became a brick under your feet. Every accusation became fuel for your elevation. Your calm became their collapse. Your endurance became their exposure. and your silence became their sentence. Imagine this, a kingdom where noise once ruled, now echoing with quiet clarity. The people who once mocked are now whispering apologies they'll never speak out loud. The same crowd that believed the spectacle now studies your resilience like scripture. That's not ego, that's justice finding its shape. The truth didn't just set you free, it set a standard. You are living proof that timing is the universe's courtroom and endurance is its language. You were never just cleared, you were crowned. You didn't escape the fire, you became the fire. You purified what surrounded you. The frame that was meant to erase your name instead engraved it into legacy. And now when people think of truth, they think of you. Because you didn't survive injustice, you redefined it.